Wheat School on RealAgriculture.com is brought to you by Syngenta Canada, Alberta Wheat Commission, and C&M Seeds.
Growers are increasingly interested in managing protein in wheat by applying nitrogen late, and timing of that can be complicated. It can be an extra pass through the field for nitrogen. Is it possible to put that nitrogen for protein on wheat with fungicide at fungicide timing?
Yeah, the problem with that is that to put on the rate of nitrogen you need at the time of fungicide, you end up burning a lot of leaves. And the reason you put on fungicides is to save that leaf. That flag leaf is very precious until right after anthesis. After anthesis, the nutrients that are in the flag leaf start to move to the grain, and saving the leaf isn't nearly as important. But right at that heading time, it's extremely important. You have to do everything that you can to limit any kind of damage. One of the strategies that people mistakenly do is they buy into this early, this idea that there's high efficiency nitrogen fertilizers with slow release qualities, and you use maybe 1 or 2 gallon an acre. It doesn't burn, and it does everything that say 30 pounds of nitrogen as UAN will do later on, and that's not true. We've done a lot of testing at that, and those products applied foliar are no more efficient than the UAN that we would apply later. So it's just a waste of money to put it on at heading time. The proper timing for protein enhancement is immediately post-anthesis, using 30 pounds of N, which is 10 gallon of UAN, mix it with 10 gallon of water. You put it on in the cool of the day, flat fan nozzles, and expect some burn, but it's superficial and you don't worry about it. And the protein increases we get with that are consistently somewhere between 0.5% and 1%.
And that's stuff that's been done here for a long time.
You know, the original work on that, the foundational work on that came from Kansas in the mid-1950s. And you'd think that a lot of things have changed since 1950, but that's something that hasn't. So at our Carrington Research Station, they've done considerable work about 15 years ago, found the same thing, immediately post-anthesis is the best timing, the rate, all of that follows that Kansas work. There's other places in northwest Minnesota and western North Dakota where we've duplicated that, and we all find the same thing. The other thing for people to think about this year too is that in a low wheat price year like this year is, that protein varieties, higher protein varieties, even though they yield less, the profit at the end of the season tends to be greater than those high yielding lower protein varieties. So, you know, if you have some variety that really high yielding but only gives you maybe 10, 12.5, or 12.5%, maybe 13 protein, and it compare with something that's maybe 10, 15 bushels less on the other hand, but you're almost guaranteed 14, you're money ahead to go with the little bit lower yielding but higher protein variety.
All right. Thanks for your time, Dave.
Yeah, thank you.